don't own a television, air fryer, hard liquor, AirPods, Amazon Prime. Hey friends, Joan here, and I hope you're all having a great week so far. Today I'm going to talk about 50 things that I don't own or pay for as a minimalist that has helped me save money and declutter my space. So I'm going to talk about them in different categories. So the first category is going to be household appliances. So first thing on household appliances is I don't own a television. I haven't owned a TV in more than 10 years, ever since I went to college, moved out with my parents. I've just not owned a TV. I don't feel like I need one. I don't like wasting my time watching TV. And people always wonder, like, what do you do that you don't have a TV? Well, I find plenty of things to do. I like to read. I like to do outdoor activities. I like to garden. I like to cook. You know, my husband and I are building 2 businesses together. So I think I have enough things to keep me occupied. Therefore, I don't need a TV. Next thing is a music player device. I know back in the day we used to have radios and CD players and boom boxes and things like that, but I don't even have any of the new ones for digital music now. I just play music on my phone or on my laptop if I want to listen to something, so I don't have some kind of music player device. Toaster or toaster oven. I just don't see the point of having them since I have an oven. If I want to warm or toast some bread, I just stick it in the oven. And on top of that, toaster ovens just take up so much counter space, and I barely have any counter space as it is in my new kitchen. Next is an air fryer. When air fryers came out, it was super popular. All my friends have it, and they were all telling me, oh, you should get an air fryer, but I just never found the appeal to it. If I want to fry something indoors and like not splatter everywhere, I just go outside on my barbecue grill and just fry stuff out there. I just don't need this big bulky thing taking up space in my kitchen. Next item is a food processor. I love to cook, and you would think I would have a food processor, but I have a blender and I feel like it does the same thing, so I just use my blender as a food processor. Next item or items are an iron and an ironing board. I used to have one many years ago, and it just got to the point where I barely use it because once I take my clothes out of the dryer, I just hang them right away or fold them right away, and I feel like I have very minimal wrinkles, so I just don't see the need. And on top of that, they do take up space in my house, so I just don't have an iron and an ironing board. Okay, the next category is household appliances. So first item here is plastic Tupperware. I have been using glass Tupperware now for the past I don't know how many years. When I used to use plastic Tupperware, I always found that they stained more, they get gross, and you know, when you cut a knife into it, it gets all messed up, and you know, I just don't want to get plastic in my food. I don't like storing hot food in plastic, so I've just stopped using plastic Tupperware altogether. I use glass Tupperware. They're much more durable, they don't stain, and I think they're just so much better to use. So next items are plastic bottled waters. As convenient it is to just buy like a case of like bottled waters, get them on the go, I just find that very wasteful. I find it, you know, bad for the environment, and you got to figure out if they can even recycle the plastic bottles, so I just don't buy those. I have a water bottle that I use over and over, and it's just so much better, and also too, it saves me money just buying like a big jug of like reverse osmosis water for like 35 cents a gallon, and then I just fill my water bottle with that. Next items are single-use kitchen gadgets. I love to cook. I have all kinds of good cookware stuff, but I would never buy single-use kitchen gadgets because I think they're just wasteful. They take up space. I don't have a pizza cutter. I don't have a cake knife. I don't have random things like that that serve one purpose only. It's just, again, wasteful. I can use a knife. I have other types of things that cover multiple purposes. Next item is dryer sheets. I don't find the use for them. I stopped using them many years ago, and I feel like my clothes are fine without using dryer sheets. Which leads me to the next item is fabric softener. Again, I just have used them many years ago, and I stopped buying them because I just never really found any value or benefit in using fabric softener, so I don't buy fabric softener. Next thing on the list is excessive home decor. I do like to decorate my home with random things here and there, but most of the decor I have right now are things that have been given to me as gifts, things I've just collected throughout the years that I've just taken care of, so I just don't buy home decor anymore. Last item on this category is excessive furniture. I don't have side tables, I don't have like an ottoman or a recliner, as much as I would love a recliner so I could sit there and read a book. We just don't have a lot of excessive furniture because first of all, we have a small space. We just have furniture for what we need. We don't need extra stuff that I could potentially bump into because I'm clumsy. So the next category is food, and first item on this list is Starbucks or any to-go coffee. I love coffee. I drink coffee almost every day, and I just don't buy coffee to go anymore because I have an espresso machine, I have a pour over cup, so I think I make better coffee than most places I go to anyway. And getting coffee to go is so expensive these days, so I have stopped buying to go coffee, especially Starbucks, for many years now. Next item is fast food. I have not eaten fast food for about 20 years now. I remember being 18 years old and saying, I'm never eating McDonald's again, and I haven't ever since. So I don't buy any fast food. I think it's bad for your body. I know it's convenient, but it's bad for your body, and I think it's because it's bad for your body, it's a waste of money. Next item is junk food. I eat very healthy for the most part. I'm very conscious about what I put in my body. So I don't buy chips, I don't buy candy, I don't buy things that I just consider junk food. It's a waste of money because it's just bad for your body. Next thing that I don't pay for is dining out. Granted, I do go out to eat once in a great while when I just absolutely have no time to cook and I'm just super tired, but for the most part, I don't go out to eat. I cook most of my food. I'm actually a pretty decent cook, so I make most of our meals throughout the day, and the only time we really have to go out to eat is it's been a long day and I'm tired and I don't want to cook, so maybe we'll go to a restaurant and eat something, but maybe that happens once a month or maybe once every 2 months, but for the most part, we just don't pay for dining out. Which leads to the next thing is food delivery. I used to have Grubhub to get food delivered to my place, but I've not done that in years because again, I'm not spending money on dining out, therefore there is no need for me to have food delivery apps. Next item on the list is expensive groceries. I've become way more conscious about how I grocery shop on a budget. I know I can get good quality groceries just by shopping around, figuring out where it is to go to buy certain things, and I have figured out a system to do that. Back in the day, I used to just go to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and that's all I bought, no matter how much it cost. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm spending so much money on food. There has to be a better way. So in the last couple years, I figured out a strategy on how to buy good quality foods. I just have to know what stores to buy them from. Last item on the food category is hard liquor or beer. I used to be a whiskey girl. I used to love my old fashions, and my husband used to drink beer, but my husband has stopped drinking alcohol altogether, and I've just gotten tired of drinking hard liquor because if I drank something the next day, I feel like crap. So I have stopped buying hard liquor for the last couple of years, and I actually feel a lot better now. If I do drink alcohol, I will drink wine on occasion. If I buy wine for at home, maybe that happens once every other month, but I rarely drink alcohol now, and especially hard liquor or beer, I just don't drink those altogether. All right, the next category is technology. First item are AirPods. I know everybody has AirPods now, but I've never found the need to use them. I just feel like it's just another trendy thing that everybody has, and I am a little bit weird about like things like in my ears with Bluetooth. I mean, yeah, don't ask me why, but I am really weird about that kind of stuff. So I don't have AirPods. Next item is a smart watch. I really don't see the need to have a smartwatch when I have a smartphone that does everything. I don't need this extra thing strapped to my body sending me text notifications or phone calls or whatever. I just don't like the idea of having technology attached to my body that way. I have my smartphone, it does what it needs. I don't need another thing that serves almost the same purpose. Next item is the latest smartphone. My phone here is an iPhone 7. I recently got this iPhone 7 about 2 years ago when my iPhone 6 was just no longer working with certain apps anymore. I'm sure it's gonna happen with my iPhone 7 here. So far it's okay, so I just don't ever buy the latest smartphone. Next item is latest tablet. I've only had one iPad for the entirety of my life and it still works. I use it mainly to watch YouTube videos, and the only reason why I bought it to begin with was because I needed something to read sheet music off of when I was playing all these gigs. Next thing I don't pay for is unlimited data for my phone. I used to pay for it when I was sharing a phone plan with my brother. He recently split away from me, moved on with his life. Now I have a phone bill all to myself, and I actually reduced my data to the lowest possible. So I was able to cut my phone bill in half because when I realized how much data I was actually using, it was not much. So I don't pay for unlimited data. Last item on this list are video games. I'm kind of surprised at how many people play video games. It's bizarre to me, and whatever, it's a personal preference. I just don't care for video games, so I don't have anything that has to do with video games. Next category are subscriptions. First item here is Amazon Prime. I quit Amazon Prime about 2 years ago. I no longer pay for that. I think it was like $175 or something. That's kind of expensive. So I stopped paying for Amazon Prime, and on top of that, it's actually limited my online shopping. I mean, you can go crazy spending money on Amazon Prime because it's so convenient to buy something and the next day it's at your doorstep. Therefore, I just don't pay for that subscription, and I'm also not shopping crazy on Amazon. Which leads me to the next Amazon related thing, which is Alexa, or the Alexa subscription. I don't know. I see Alexa in so many households. You know, I go to my friend's house, a relative's house, and I see this thing that talks to you, and I think it's kind of creepy, and I also don't think it's useful, so I just don't have an Alexa type thing. Next item is movie subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff. I mean, I don't have a TV, so that's all good. I mean, I could technically watch movies on my laptop, which I rarely do, so I don't pay for any kind of movie subscription at all. Music subscriptions. As much as I love music and I have a background in music, I don't pay for Spotify, I don't pay for Pandora or anything like that. Next items are iPhone apps. I've actually deleted a lot of apps on my phone, and I've actually canceled a lot of subscriptions like investment apps or calendar apps. Even though they're not that much money, sometimes it's like 99 cents a year or 99 cents per month, I just found that I'm not even using it to its full benefit, so I've just canceled them altogether. Therefore, I just don't pay for iPhone apps anymore. Last item on this is gym membership. I mean, I am kind of lucky that I live in an apartment community that has a gym open 24 hours and it's free to all the people that live here in this community. Therefore, I just don't have to pay for a gym membership. Next category is clothing. First item here is fast fashion. I've actually decluttered almost all of my fast fashion items like Forever 21, H&M, and I just don't buy them anymore. I don't even step foot in any of those stores anymore. I don't want to waste my money on cheap clothing, and I just don't want to support fast fashion brands at all. Second items are uncomfortable shoes like high heels. I just don't wear high heels anymore. There's really no need for me to wear high heels. I have not had an occasion where I felt like I needed to wear high heels, so I just don't buy uncomfortable shoes anymore. Next items are excessive handbags and backpacks and things like that. I used to collect a lot of different purses and handbags and backpacks because I used to try to be more trendy, but I found that in time all they did was take up space, and then I started using them less and less. So I've actually gotten rid of a lot of these things. I only use one backpack that I use when I go out, go grocery shopping, run errands, and then I have one bigger backpack that I use to go to work or when I travel. So I really just don't have that many bags anymore. Next item is jewelry. I used to like wearing a lot of jewelry, and I used to like to wear a lot of, like, you know, cutesy costume type jewelry. I actually got rid of them because, again, they're cheap And I'm just in this phase in my life where I'm not trying to look trendy. I keep my style very minimal. I hardly wear jewelry, so therefore I'm not buying jewelry anymore. And the last item in this category are seasonal wardrobes. I know there are a lot of people out there that have wardrobes just for spring, just for summer, just for fall, just for winter. As much as I love that idea, I just think it's just too much, to keep up with. And it's just buying more things that you don't really need. I mean, I do have a winter jacket for the winter. I do have, a lighter jacket for like spring or fall. But as far as like what I wear day to day, I've been wearing the same denim all throughout the years. For every season, I wear the same tops throughout the year, every season, and they work. And I just adjust my outfits with jackets according to the season. I just don't feel like I need to have an entirely curated outfit for every season. I think it's a waste of money, and it's just more clutter in your closet. Next category is personal care. So first items here are his or hers personal care items, such as soap, shampoo, deodorant. My husband and I share a lot of personal care products because I just don't see the point of having bar soap just for him, bar soap just for me, shampoo for him, shampoo for me. If it's a smell and an item that works for both of us, why not just share it? Therefore, we just don't buy his or her personal care products. Next items are excessive skincare products. I only use two things for my skin. I have some kind of vitamin E oil, and then I have some kind of moisturizer. That's it. I don't have all these extra serums and extra scrubs and all these things. And I mean, I hate to admit this, but I don't even have like a facial cleanser. I just use the bar soap. I just lather my hands and just wash my face because I'm just gonna moisturize it anyway. So I don't think it really matters what kind of cleanser I use. I mean, at least that's what I think, but I don't have all these extra skincare products that I buy. Next item is perfume. I have not worn perfume in years. I mean, I still have this one bottle I've had forever, but I don't even use it anymore. Like, it's just there, and I just prefer to have a more natural smell. So that's just me. So next item is makeup. The only makeup I really wear day to day is eyeliner. That's the only thing I really buy these days. But as far as everything else, I don't buy all this foundation and lipstick and all these other stuff that you put on your skin. Like, my skin's always bare. I have maybe one thing, like a stick thing that I use on my skin if for some reason I go out somewhere fancy, special occasion where I feel like, okay, maybe I should wear makeup. But other than that, all I wear is eyeliner. Next item I don't pay for, and this is just a personal preference, but I refuse to get Botox or any kind of fillers. I know a lot of people around me, a lot of my friends that do these things, that they go in once every couple months and get their skin Botoxed and filled or whatever. I just don't think it's necessary. I personally try to embrace how I look, how I age. I'm all about natural beauty. And again, if this is something that you feel you need to do to feel good about yourself, go for it. But my personal preference is just embracing how we look naturally. Therefore, I would never pay for Botox or fillers. Last item in this category are haircuts. So I've been cutting my own hair for the last 2 years now. Ever since I moved out here to Arizona, I've never really ventured out to go look for someone to cut my hair. I'm very particular about people cutting my hair. And so I've just learned how to cut my own hair. It doesn't always come out perfect, but I've learned how to cut my bangs. I've learned how to trim my hair just to get all the split ends out. So I have not paid for haircuts in years. All right, we're moving along here. I've got 2 more categories to go. So next category are trendy items. There's only a few here because I don't have TikTok. I'm barely on social media, so I don't really know what's trending out there right now, but I know for sure First item I don't have is a Stanley water bottle. I see this everywhere. Almost everyone I know has some kind of Stanley water bottle, and when I've looked them up, they're really expensive. I'm like, why do you need to pay that much just for a water bottle? So I have a water bottle that I use that I bought for like less than 10 bucks. Well, actually I didn't buy it, it was a gift. And then I know it cost that person less than 10 bucks. So I just don't have a Stanley water bottle. Second items are latest fashions. I notice when I walk around the mall and just see what people are wearing, everyone starts to wear certain things, certain shoes, certain types of pants, and I'm just not buying the latest fashions. I just look at it and I'm like, you know, in the next year or so, this is not going to be trendy anymore and it's going to sit in the back of your closet. So I really try to keep my fashion like very minimal, very timeless. I buy cuts and types of clothes that I know I can wear for many, many years. Therefore, I just don't buy into the latest fashion trends. The last item on this category are designer brands. While I do believe in buying good quality clothing that will last you forever, I do notice people tend to buy designer brands just because they are trending, which kind of goes back to the whole latest fashion trends that I don't like to pay for. But I notice people tend to buy the latest designer brands, the latest designer bag, designer shoes, and you know, if you can afford that kind of luxury, then go for it. But I know so many people that are in debt, people that I know for sure that can't afford those types of luxuries. They, for some reason, buy it, pay for it with a credit card, and I really think that's just bad practice. Don't spend your money on things you can't afford just because you want to fit in or whatever. You know, I'm just not into keeping up with the Joneses, which I see a lot of people do these days. So I would never buy designer stuff just because everyone else is doing it. So the last category are miscellaneous items. I just didn't really know where else to group them. But the first items are souvenirs. Whenever I do travel, I just don't buy souvenirs anymore. I'll buy things like maybe the local coffee bean or the local wine, you know, like things like that that I know I'm gonna consume and then it's gone. I just don't buy like pins and magnets and things like that anymore. Or, you know, even if it's like souvenirs for friends and family, which I barely do anyway, I would buy things that are local to that place that you can eat or drink, or, you know, things that I know are useful. Next item are gifts. Whenever it's someone's birthday or it's Christmas time or things like that, I've actually been more conscious about my gift giving. I really don't want to clutter people with random things just because I think they might like them or it reminds me of them. Nowadays, I barely give gifts. If I want to spend time with a person as a gift, I will do that. If I want to give them something, sometimes I'll just cook them a meal, I'll cook them a dessert, or I'll buy them something, again, that's consumable, like coffee or wine, or maybe some kind of like, I don't know, artisan bread. I focus on giving gifts that I know will be used and are not going to clutter their space. Next items are spiritual items. I was all about buying crystals and incense and candles and things like that. I've actually stopped doing that the last several years because I feel like I have a very different relationship now with spirituality. And as much as I love how pretty crystals look, and you know, I do use them for decor around my place, I just have a very different relationship with those types of things now. Therefore, I just don't buy them anymore. Last item, item 50, are dated or themed journals. I used to love buying journals that you have to buy at the beginning of the year. It starts on January 1st and it's got pages all the way up to December 31st. There's affirmations and daily quotes and things like that, but I've found that I've just wasted my money buying on these types of journals because some days I don't even want to journal, or I'm too busy to journal. I just don't have time to fill out this very pretty journal that I spent almost $80 on. And so I just don't buy those types of journals anymore. I buy a bullet journal now, which I personalize day to day. And if I miss 2 weeks of journaling, cool, I'm not wasting a single page because I just pick up where I left off. My current bullet journal that I use right now, I've actually been using since last year. I think bullet journals are great. They're very practical. They're very minimal, very customizable. I definitely recommend bullet journaling over anything else. So those are the 50 things that I don't own or pay for as a minimalist. I was actually running out of breath trying to read all those things. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas or inspiration for things that you are trying to declutter out of your life and finding ways to save money. I know a lot of things are very tempting to buy or own because everybody has them, or it's trendy, or you think it's going to be useful, but I encourage you to really be mindful, take some time to research and really think about how useful will these items really be? Will it really benefit you? Will you have them for years to come? Thanks so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.